Hello and welcome to another Dragon Ball FighterZ video. Today, TGN Anime presents a character profile for Vegeta Super Saiyan Blue. Vegeta Blue shares some similarities with his Super Saiyan form. The overall style of this character still falls within the rushdown type, but this time Vegeta has a couple of abilities that allow him to engage from further away, which significantly change the type of rushdown character that he is. As far as normals go, Vegeta is pretty standard with the exception of his Ki Blast, which he can throw in many directions depending on the button you're holding on the D-pad. Nothing too impressive, but this is important to note since Super Saiyan Vegeta had very different Ki Blasts, including the Ki Blast Rush, which this one does not have. Still, his Ki Blast can be used in combos, you just have to treat it differently. His specials have also changed a bit, though you will recognize a few of them. Quarter circle forward and the special button throws the Big Bang attack. Instead of a super, this time it's only a special attack that costs no meter, but it does take a bit longer for Vegeta to launch this, making it easier to block since you have a bit more time to react to it. However, if Vegeta is right in the opponent's face, he'll actually damage the opponent while gathering the energy for the Big Bang attack, which means you can use this in combos. And you can also cancel this attack into a super, making it an efficient way to end a combo. This attack can be performed on the ground as well as in the air, but the aerial version will always shoot the Big Bang attack downwards. There's absolutely no tracking of the enemy, Vegeta always shoots it at the same angle. And from the assist position, the aerial Big Bang is the attack that Vegeta will perform as well. Next we have his super dash kick with quarter circle forward and an attack button, and although this looks similar to Super Saiyan Vegeta, this one has a lot of variants because after you initiate this attack, you can follow it up twice with any of your attack buttons, and each one of them will have different properties. So you can initiate with the quarter circle forward and the light attack, for instance, then press the medium attack for a flurry of kicks, and then finish with a heavy attack for more damage and a wall bounce. That's of course just an example, as we'll now break down what each of the attack buttons do during this special. First, we have the activation, quarter circle forward and the attack button. The light attack has Vegeta lunging forward with a single kick, the medium attack version has Vegeta jumping up, also with a single kick, and the heavy attack version is very similar to the light attack version, but it is faster and has a lot more range. Next, we have the first follow-up. Light attack button throws a single kick, medium attack button unleashes a series of kicks, and the heavy attack version also kicks only once, but you can actually cross up to the opponent's back if you pause slightly before the third input. And for the third input, we have a single kick on the light attack version, a single kick that causes a wall bounce on the medium attack version, and the heavy kick button damages the opponent a bit more before also causing a wall bounce at the end. Now, keep in mind that every time you press the heavy attack button, you'll spend 1 bar of meter. If you want to engage from further away, that's 1 bar. If you want to cross up, that's another bar. If you want to end with heavy damage and a wall bounce, that's another. So be careful because Vegeta can quickly drain your meter with this attack. And before we move on, just a couple more things about this attack. Even if you don't land the first kick, you can still perform the 2 follow-ups. And as you might expect, you can perform this move both on the ground and in the air. Vegeta Blue's final special attack is a full sentence, so we didn't include it all in the lower third. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give you a 3 is the full name of this move with quarter circle backwards and an attack button. Similar to the dash kick, the light and heavy attack version have Vegeta lunging horizontally, with the heavy attack version being a bit faster and having a bigger range, and the medium attack version has Vegeta jumping upwards. All 3 versions are command grabs. They cannot be blocked. You either get out of the way or you crouch to avoid this move. You can perform it both on the ground and in the air, and after you land a hit, the light attack version can't be really followed up by anything, but the medium and heavy attack versions very much can. This is a great move if you want to bring the opponent back to the ground, because that's actually the only place where Vegeta can throw level 1 supers. And speaking of supers, Vegeta has 3 of them, 2 level 1 supers and a level 3 that can be upgraded to a level 5. The first level 1 super is the NIAGARA PUMMEL with quarter circle forward and the right bumper. Vegeta jumps forward and punches the opponent. If this punch lands, he'll do this whole animation, but it can only be activated from the ground. And also, this super is a bit tougher to follow up than most level 1 supers, as it requires precise timing when you call in for a follow-up. You can't just hold down the assist button like in most cases. If you want to call for an assist after Vegeta's super, then you might want to go for his other level 1, the iconic GALICK gun with quarter circle forward and the right trigger. Vegeta will always shoot the GALICK gun upwards, and once again he can only do the super while on the ground. It's a pretty straightforward super that that synergizes pretty well with his Big Bang attack or his unique Ki blasts. And finally, his level 3 is the Final Flash with quarter circle backwards and the right bumper or trigger. It's very similar to Super Saiyan Vegeta's level 3, but this one can be upgraded into a level 5 if you hold down the right bumper or trigger. It's a horizontal ki wave that covers the whole screen, and if it lands, you can easily hold down the buttons for more damage. As far as auto combos go, when you mash the light attack button, he does this. And when you mash the medium attack button, he does this. And now that we know how he plays, here are some tips on how to use him. Vegeta's command grab is one of the best in the game. He lunges forward a considerable distance, so it becomes easy to punish overly defensive opponents. This is also your go-to move if you want to bring an opponent back to the ground for you to land one of your level 1 supers, because neither the NIAGARA pummel or the GALICK gun can be performed while in the air. The only super that Vegeta has in the air is the Final Flash, and you might not always have the meter for it. In a way, his supers are the exact opposite of Goku Blue, which I can definitely appreciate. Super Dash Kick is even better this time around to mix up your opponent. The heavy attack button in the first follow-up attack crosses up to the opponent's back, which again is awesome if your first 2 attacks are blocked and you want to do some left-right mixing up. But even if you don't mix up, this attack can be very hard to punish, since the opponent never really knows how many kicks you're gonna throw with Vegeta before you actually stop, since there are so many ways you could perform this attack. Make sure to stay unpredictable, and when you're starting out, careful not to spam the heavy attack button, because it can easily just eat through your meter gauge. Finally, the Big Bang attack is a lot easier to block this time around, but it's also free, doesn't cost any meter. It's not the best zoning tool in the game, but it does damage the opponent immediately if they're close to you. So my guess is that it will be used for combos way more than zoning, but it's still one of the few long-range attacks that this version of Vegeta has. So in certain situations, keep it in mind because it might be useful. Overall, Vegeta is a very comfortable character. His specials are simple but very strong, and his normals are pretty standard, which some people might look as a negative, but that makes him an easy character to perform combos with. Thank you for watching another character profile. Tomorrow, we'll dive into the remaining Dragon Ball Super characters with Goku Black. In the meantime, check out our playlist up there with all the character breakdowns that we've released so far, or if you're in the mood for something else, there's also the video at the bottom. But as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!